Welcome to the Bridging the Generation podcast. I am your host, Malak Arif, and today I got a very special guest. So before we even get started, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button. I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe. Let's get that engagement up. You know, we got a lot of dope artists coming on the platform, so let me give y'all a second to do that right now. All right, let's go. Again, coming to the platform, I got 1/4 member of one of my favorite supergroups of all time, Long Beach owns, West Coast legend, and I'm talking about Crooked I, aka King Crook, man. Yes, he's in the building. So come on, let's get this engagement up. Smash that like button, sit back, and enjoy yourself. Man, again, you are watching the Bridging the Generation podcast. I am your host, Malak Arif, man, and today I got not only a pioneer in the game, I'm talking about a West Coast legend, the one, the only King Crook, man. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, my brother.
No. The pleasure is all mine.
What's good with you, man? What's popping?
Hey, you know I gotta first off, man, just before I talk, I even get into this conversation, man, I just want to know how you've been maintaining with this whole pandemic, this whole COVID-19 nonsense. How has any of this affected you?
It's affected me in a good way, you know what I mean? It's really been making me be able to just go to work.
Yeah.
Come back to the crib, you know what I mean? Go to work, and it's like I'm always at work. You feel me? So even when I wake up in the morning, I might do my little routine. Then I'm back in the backyard with my wireless speakers and shit, and I'm bumping music and listening to instrumentals and thinking of concepts. And then, I go to the studio, and then late at night, I'm back in the backyard again, doing the same thing and up the next day. So it's really a constant thing, especially when I'm working on an album. So it's really cool to me because, I'm used to isolation, when it's time to create and it's time to grind on that music grind, you know what I'm saying? So only way that is really affecting me is as far as touring. And I had Crook's Corner, I was doing these in-depth
the podcast,
with rappers and shit. And when that hit, that kind of stopped, for a minute, because I wanted to really get in the room with these guys, and I had this other joint called Bending Corners, which was a spinoff of Crook's Corner, and we got up to 2 episodes before COVID struck.
Yeah, I remember that, man. Talk about that. What happened with that?
Yeah, man. So, we the first episode was the Dog Pound and DJ Quick. Mm-hmm. And they were live at the Novo. That's a venue out here in Cali. And the concept of Bending Corners is man on the street hip hop type, you know what I mean? For the young kids, they never really experienced Fab Five Freddy and Yo MTV Raps. Okay. You know what I mean? When he would be with the mic in hand, talking to you, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, and anywhere, it didn't matter. He just, wherever you at, he there.
He coming there, and that's what Bending Corners was. We gonna bend some corners, and we gonna come to wherever you are, projects, studio, restaurant, just home, your house, whatever. We coming. We gonna talk rap. We gonna talk about the projects you got. So I did one with Dazza Corrupt and DJ Quick. It was dope. I got to talk to the fans outside. We were having this big Kobe memorial was going on at Staples Center. It was just dope to be out with the people, And the next one after that I did, it was Griselda. You know what I'm saying? So it was off to the races, bro. And then that virus hit. You know what I'm saying? So when the virus hit, it was a wrap, and it was crazy because it was some people at that show, the Griselda show, and that they felt sick, and the way they was describing it ended up being some of the symptoms that, you know, the coronavirus. So people was getting it back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just before the shit like really popped off.
Before the news and the media really let us know what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I really darted out of there right on time. But, you know, we're going to bring all of that back. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get it all cracking. So I'm the type of person that I try to look for the positive in whatever's going on. And I say, okay, so how can I build during this pandemic? What can I do to be a better me, have a better, you know, company, how can I just improve my whole scenario? You know what I mean? During this time. And, you know, I just try to do that, bro.
Now, with an artist like yourself, man, that been in the game as long as you have, what are some of the things that you've seen in the game that has changed, but changed for the better?
Change for the better. You know, when you get older in the game, you like to complain a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you've seen a lot of shit.
You've
seen a lot of shit, and you like, you know, it's easy to complain about shit. You know what I'm saying? But so this question right here is the opposite. You know what I'm saying? You just say, hey, man, what changed for the worse? All right, man, this dude Lil Pump, man. But you say, hey, man, what changed for the better? So I think what has changed for the better, dog, is, you know, we had to go, you know, catch buses to the lab, buses, trains, or walk.
Talk about it.
We had to, you know, save up money for the lab. We had to go and try to duplicate CDs and cassettes, or we had to go to Kinko's and all these places to try to make the artwork and stand on the corner with the mixtape doing hand to hands, you know what I'm saying, and trying to get people interested in your music. These kids, they have it, to me, with technology, social media. I feel like they don't have to go through that, and I'm happy. I'm happy for them. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy they could just crack open the laptop, jump on, make a beat. You know what I mean? Do the rap in their bedroom, upload it to SoundCloud and YouTube, and really just be able to get lost in the art and give it directly to the people, man.
No doubt.
I think that's way better, bro. I love it, bro. I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I take it back further than that. I mean, these kids, the way that they even have access just to hearing the music, we the same age.
Yeah.
I was born in 78.
Okay.
And so we can remember when it was hard just to be able to hear hip hop because it just wasn't played all day long.
Right.
It wasn't, you had to have cable if you wanted to hear a certain, like the Ralph McDaniels or video jukebox or whatever. Yeah. And then on top of that, like I said, it was music. It wasn't the dominant genre of music. So you just didn't hear it all the time. Like,
right.
We old enough to remember that.
Yeah, they have it on demand. They can listen to any song that's out whenever they want to, see any video that's out whenever they want to. It's all
as many times as they want.
As many times as they want to. We did not have that. We had to watch a whole Rap City program to see our favorite video. And they might not play that motherfucker.
Might not, exactly.
That's real.
Yeah, same thing. Nah, that's what's up. So look, with your story, man, it's very peculiar because as a fan and as a supporter of hip hop since the late 80s, you were the first artist that I've seen on the West Coast the rap with the type of style that you had that you have, as far as the lyricism, the dexterity, the versatility. Not saying, like, I'm talking about me personally, right. The first artist that I see. I'm not
right.
I got introduced to Razzcast a few years later, even though he'd been out. So with that said, how did you developed your style? You know, what was some of the earliest influences for you as far as hip hop?
Man, everybody that was good, everybody that knew how to rap, I was just really on them. I was plugged in.
Yeah.
You know, Rakim. You know, when Rakim said, "Haven't you ever heard of an MC murderer?" I said, damn, I don't just gotta tell stories with my rhymes. I could come at MCs and try to verbally destroy them. You know what I'm saying? That was like Rakim put that light bulb on my head. You feel me? Like I was young. I was just because I started at 8 years old, so I thought I was a serious rapper when I was 8. So you know, when I heard Rakim do that, I was like, oh, okay. You know, you got Big Daddy Kane, you got Cool G Rap, you got KRS-One speaking on, you know, certain parts of Black history that I wasn't taught in school. So I said, oh, I could go and, you know, learn some things and bring it to the music and go in the booth and try to enlighten other people that's listening to the music. Edutainment, you know what I mean?
BDP.
Yeah, BDP, you feel me? So it's like all these different people, you know what I mean? They gave me what would eventually become, you know, my weapon of choice. You feel me? So it's like Ice Cube, his attitude, they had the right name, you know, niggas with attitude.
No doubt.
His attitude on the mic was like, he didn't give a fuck.
Ferocious. You know ferocious.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. And it was like he really embodied storytelling and a rawness. But every time he got on a track with another one of the monsters that inspired me, DOC,
woo!
Every time he got on the track with DOC, he would level up his skill.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know, he was in the room with a real monster.
Yeah.
So, you know, those kind of guys, man. Like I said, Cool G, who today can still air it out.
Hey, I got to stop you for a second, man. I don't think CC on the Original Generation podcast, man. We keep it 1,000. We don't keep it 100. We keep it 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Cool G Rap is one of the greatest of all time. But I'm gonna be honest, he rap as good as he rapped back in, in '88 with DJ Polo. The shit that he does now is better.
Yeah. He Giancana, man.
Like
still he ain't took a day off yet.
And you the same way. I would just talk, brother. I'm listening to the St. Valentine's, the Bossica.
Yes, sir.
I remember that because that was my introduction to like your catalog. You know, I knew of you that you was with Death Row, Murder Inc. But that was my introduction to let me really check out his music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But I listened to, I'm listening to the project that you just dropped that flag.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like, you leveled up so much. Like it's amazing because how high of a caliber MC you already was. It's like, how could you top this?
I appreciate it, my brother.
But then I hear this flag and I hear the joint you did with Joel, and I'm like, yeah, you gotta put Cream. This ain't no cap, but you have to put Crook up there with the G Raps and the niggas that's really the Black Thoughts, the niggas that bring that shit 1,000% all the time.
Man, I appreciate it, my brother. Yeah, man. I mean, from our era, we wanted to add value to the game.
No doubt. We
didn't come in and say, hey man, we just want to get a money grab. It was like, yo, if Rakim is Rembrandt and Big Daddy is Picasso and Cool G is Da Vinci, who you gonna be?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Niggas wasn't trying to dick ride or ride whatever wave another nigga was doing.
Yeah, and wasn't trying to drop the ball when the OGs before us put the bar so high. We was trying to get at least to that bar or build on it and go a little higher. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we was trying to do. And it was cool to do that back then. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? So
it was healthy competition.
It was healthy competition. And, you know, brothers like Tretch, you know, who don't get his like he's supposed to, was putting together words, man, and inspiring everybody. And it was just like really, it was a fly time to be an MC. You know what I mean? Because you wanted to be skillful, you wanted to be masterful.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's like now, and I'm not knocking because we got a lot of young artists that's hard right now. They dope, they quality.
Yeah, we
period.
do.
I'm not one of them veterans that says, you know, everybody's whack now. That's not true.
That's not true.
But what I do know is this though. When the corporations having their way in the game, they put a lot of people on them stages who aren't doing anything incredible. You see what I'm saying?
1,000%.
So if I go to a Miles Davis concert as a kid, everybody in that crowd, there's probably nobody in that crowd that could play the horn like him.
Yeah.
But in a rap concert, almost everybody in the crowd can rap like the person that's on the You know what I'm saying?
It's like I don't understand it. Like, why y'all so impressed by this? You can do this.
You can do this yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we want to still get up there and put on the type of show that make people say, damn, I can't do that. That's the reason I'm spending my money. I want to watch.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Do. You
hey, talk about it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
Go watch Black Thought. Go watch Black Thought on stage. And ask anybody in the crowd, can you get up there and do what he just did? Hell no. They can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why the simplest shit is like the simplicity in a lot of the mainstream hip hop, man. You know, it connects to people because most people do not have that type of talent. Whereas, you know, the type of talent that you thought Pharaoh, like that's not something that just anybody can do.
And that's another guy. Man, come on, dog. Pharaoh Munch.
Bro, y'all aliens, man. I have my alien category, man. I got my alien category. You, Pharaoh, Thought, Asia, of course, Kendrick. Yeah, man. The alien category is almost like, yo, you with the gods, man. You got. And y'all look down at the like the regular rappers, yeah, like you guys are unrankable. Like y'all not Ghostface, y'all niggas not rankable, man. Y'all niggas is here, and y'all sit up on Mount Olympus, yeah. Y'all look at the
man, I appreciate it. Man.
Y'all look at the mortals and shit, like, oh, that's cute, that's okay, you know.
And every now and then we gotta throw a thunderbolt at their ass, you know what I'm saying?
To remind them, yeah, like this is just when y'all forget what hip hop is. This is just to remind y'all. This is where it's at. This is what we doing over here. So talk about, you know, like I said, the first time I got introduced to you, you know, just being an artist in the game, and I remember reading about you in the Source magazine. This is around 01, 02. And I believe at that time you was just leaving Death Row, about to go to Murder Inc. So talk to me about around that time, man. You know, what was your time like on Death Row, and you know, what was that transition? You know, as far as, you know, going to Murder Inc. or what, you know, was there, you know, a stop in between that or whatever?
Well, so I actually never was signed to Murder Inc. What happened was when Suge got out of jail, I was already on death row for 2 years while he was locked up. He did 6. I came in when he had 2 years left.
All right.
And I did, you know, a lot of music and shit. And then one day, and when he was still in the pen, I went to go visit him at Mule Creek Penitentiary in Ione, California. And he was like, Crook, I like what you've been doing. I've been listening to it over the phone and all that shit. Shit sound dope, but I want to come out. My time is short. I want to come out and we get in there and vibe together and make the album, you know, So I'm like, all right. I had already like 2 albums done, you know, some other shit.
Right.
And he was like, don't even trip. I'm going to cut you a check. You kick your feet up. I come back home, and then we going to get it. So, boom, when he came back, we start recording. We was making a lot of music. And him and Irv Gotti, I don't know how their relationship developed, but they became pretty close.
Okay.
So him and Irv Gotti became close, and we noticed a lot of people was trying to block Suge from ever becoming successful in the game again. So that was affecting all the artists on the roster because it was like a lot of doors. They were trying to shut a lot of doors on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And times had changed. When he went in, him and Puff was pretty much the only moguls in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But when he came out, we had Jay, we had Master P, we had Baby.
Yeah, Irv Gotti.
So it was the landscape was different. And a lot of the higher ups, none of the people I just mentioned, but a lot of the higher ups, they didn't want to see him successful. So Irv was like, look, let me rock with Crook on some shit. Y'all, you're still gonna be death row, but let me, get him under the Murder Inc. umbrella and give him some good looks. You know what I mean? So he can pop off. And that's what Irv did. He threw me on the Ashanti remix to Baby. That shit was number one on 106 in Park.
Yeah.
Any involvement in a number one video on 106 in Park. And
that was on that was on like that compilation joint, right?
I think so, because I did some joints with John and them on that compilation too.
Yeah.
And I got to perform with them and go out. They was really Irv kept his word. Like it was rare to see people come up because people talk all the time, but Irv was like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do, Crook. And he did it. You know what I'm saying? And then he ran into some trouble. Him, Suge, and Jay Prince all at the same time ran into
that was big. That was big. They was trying to put together, like a conglomerate to
And they ran into some trouble, the fans, and all this type of stuff. Yeah. And that just kind of slowed that whole thing that we had planned with Murder Inc. You know what I'm saying? So a couple years later, I decided it was time for me to pack the bags and bounce out of the row and go take it independent, man. But yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a lot on Death Row. You know what I mean? I learned it was hip hop 101. It was industry 101.
No doubt.
And, you know what I mean? It was some good times and some bad times. You feel me? But at the end of the day, man, I learned some valuable lessons and some jewels. So I'm grateful.
Now, things was crazy. This is, we talking about. A few years after the East Coast, West Coast, that whole, like, how was you able to, balance, stay keeping your head in the game as far as your creativity and ignore all the nonsense and shit that was going on just with that and possibly with your own, whatever, you could have been going through personally,
Hey, man, that's one of the gifts that I got to thank God for. Is that I got the ability to rap no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And I tell this to young artists. Never let your label know that you can create under pressure. If you blessed enough to know how to create with your back against the wall and you make dope shit, don't let the label know that because they'll try to keep your back against the wall. You know what I'm saying? To keep that dope ass shit coming out of you. You know what I mean? So that's like a secret. You know what I mean? Don't tell them that because that's a jewel. I'm telling you, young artists out there, don't let them know that you good under pressure. You know what I'm saying? You can let them know a little bit if something's happened and you got to step up, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that could be a curse for you because a lot of labels, they'll try to keep you in the conditions that make where you make the best music. And if they feel like starving you out, if they feel like, fucking you over in contracts and all that is going to keep bringing the pain, anger, and the music out of you, they're going to keep you in that cycle. But back to the original question, yeah, dog. I just know how to get to it no matter what. You know what I mean? Like it don't matter what's going on. I'm gonna always be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And
Where do you think that come from?
I like
Because let me say this. I think that separates a lot of artists. You have to put those type of artists in a separate category. It's safe to say that they're doing something under the most intense pressure, but they're still able to focus on their craft at hand.
Yeah, man. I think it's the why. Why are you doing it in the first place? You know what I'm saying? You doing it because you love the culture.
Yeah.
You doing it. Maybe you trying to get your family out of a certain position, get yourself out of a certain position. Maybe you are very competitive with your previous work, competitive with your peers. It's all those things wrapped up in one. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was crazy, dog. Feds raiding the death row building. Shit going on in the streets.
Yeah.
And just go in there and just say, yo, I'm gonna zone out. You know what I mean? But that's how hip hop has always been for me. Hip hop has always been my therapist. So I gotta go talk to my therapist when shit popping, and I go talk to hip hop, man.
Get in that lab.
Yeah.
Get busy. Yeah, man. Because your brothers, man, they nice as hell too, man. So it's like it's in the blood, man. Horseshoe gang, right?
Yeah, horseshoe gang, man. Shout out to the shoe gang, man. You know what I'm saying?
How the hell do you have 6 brothers? What we talking? 5, 6?
Yeah.
That's that fucking nice, man. Like, how in the hell was it like growing up, with these young brothers? You're the oldest, I believe.
I got an older brother, and then I'm the second. And then out of the horseshoe, I'm older than all of the horseshoe. You know what I'm saying? And I just taught him how to rap, you know what I mean, at a young age. I used to be like, yo, I write them 4 bars a piece or 8 bars a piece when they was like 6 and 7 years old.
Whoa, shit.
And I'll be like, yo, when I come home, I want y'all to memorize them raps. And when I come home, spit them shits. You know what I'm saying? So when I come home, I'll be like, go. And here you go. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we entertained ourselves,
Oh, so, man.
And then they took that and they saw my footsteps of being a student of the game. And they started, I played all the right type of music to create monsters. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, check out this Scarface. You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen, man.
Hand of the dead body.
Hand of the dead body. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, hold up, man. Y'all got to listen to this joint. It's called The Symphony. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And then they took that and went in their own directions with it, and became very, very superb, man, with the mic skills, dog. And it's like, it's kind of frustrating because I'm going to keep it real 100 with you. Had I not kind of groomed them like I did, I don't know, man. It's not easy for lyricists in this era.
It's a possibility that they could be, and this is no offense, but they could be further ahead if they would dumb down their shit. And that's not just for them. There's a lot of other, there's a lot of other artists. They will possibly, there's a good chance they'll be further ahead because
they're making music that the masses can digest very easily.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes I feel like, damn, me being on them so much to be the best they could be might have backfired, because if I'd have just let them grow into it naturally, maybe they would have did something else. But I don't think they can even entertain that thought, because who they are as men now,
right?
They love the culture and they love the art form of lyricism too much.
So talk about that. A lot of people say, these artists, let's just say, generally speaking, most artists, I say within the past 10 years, a lot of people would say, it's a general consensus where people say that they don't have the love for the culture as the generation before. They in it for the money.
Right.
You know, they're in it for the, you know, the glow up, you know, the look, the aesthetics. So what would you say to people who feel that way?
So rappers who feel like they just in it for the money?
Yeah, you know.
I mean, me personally.
Matter of fact, both sides, you know. What do you think about? Yeah, what do you think about the, you know, the fans who feel that way, and how would you, you know, what is your take on a rapper that is just in, you know, they're primarily in the game to just get the bag?
I mean, man, for the fans, I would tell the fans, you know, I would suggest that they try to understand. You got a young kid coming out the hood 90% of the time, not a lot of resources, not a lot of access.
Yeah.
Finds a way that he could go and get some money and change his life, change his family's lifestyle. I think the fan needs to put themselves in them shoes for a minute and say, okay, I could see why somebody would be driven by the money. They come home, there's nothing in the refrigerator. The moms is crying over the bills that can't be paid. You tired of seeing this. You living like this. This is very stressful environment. You want to escape. Somebody come to you. You might not even be that lyrical. You might not be that good at it, but you got a certain look. You got a certain way that charisma, even though you're not ill on the mic. And they say, hey, I can make you a star. I can get you out of this position. You're going to take it all day. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take it all day. Then you got some of the rappers who they just don't care about the culture of hip hop, period. They just want the money. You know what I'm saying? And to them, I say, listen, you got to fall in love with this. Fall in love with the art. Because if you want to be here, let me back up. You might be popping right now because it's trendy.
Exactly.
To do one particular flow over one particular sound. It's trendy. You popping, you getting money.
Right.
That's going to go away one day. And you're going to go away with it unless you fall in love with this art form. Because that's the only way you're going to have longevity. Now, do you want to get money for 2 years and be nobody 5 years from now? Or do you want to get money for 10, 20 years, put your kids through school with a game that you love, you know, and be relevant for 20 years? Which one do you want? You know what I'm saying? KRS-One, I went to a summer jam when the world was still open.
Right.
KRS-One had no hits that year. None. He got on the stage and rocked the whole crowd.
Right.
Even though everybody else on the bill had hits.
Had hits. Yeah, he killed it.
He killed it.
Yeah.
Because he's an MC. Yeah. So, you know, that's all I would say is, like, I would just tell the fans, you know what I'm saying, to just try to understand. Now, when these rappers get on camera and they all cocky and, yeah, I don't care about the game and, you know, I'm all about the money and, you know, fuck the OGs and all that, then we don't got no love for them. That's period.
Yeah.
We got no love for them.
I think that's where the disconnect really comes from, man. You know, because we live in this microwave society. So a lot of people feel like, man, for them to stay here, you know, this is my opinion. It just seemed like a lot of people feel for them to stay here, they have to do things like be outrageous as far as their character. You know, they have to do things that's sensationalized. You know, because they know that their skill alone is just not going to
cut it.
It's not going to cut it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we're in an era where hip hop has transitioned to whoever getting the most attention, you know, outside of the music is getting streamed the most.
Yeah, they the best rapper to the average casual listener.
Yeah, so
they gotta be the best because you hear them all the time.
Exactly, and that's false.
Exactly.
And we know
1,000%.
We know that's false. We know it. You know what I'm saying? But the casual fan for the last 10 years been hearing mediocre people celebrate it. They're hearing rap media celebrating mediocre people. Rap media that we used to love historically, done switched up. You know what I mean? Lowered the standards because they trying to, you know, cater to a certain community. And it's like, you know,
it's not, you know, it's not us as, you know, elders in you know, of hip hop to say, you know, like to speak as if we don't like the culture. It's certain things within the culture that we seen the shift. We remember how it used to be. It used to be more integrity involved.
It used to be more integrity involved. We've seen it. And like I always say, it's not about the age, because there was whack dudes from the 90s.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It was groups and rappers. I can't fuck with that. So, you know, that's always going to be there. Yeah. But what it is that they're putting this mega spotlight on it now, and it's not balanced. You know, it's cool for this MC over here, this chick over here, to be a straight gimmick and get stream after a billion streams. That's fine, as long as Rhapsody is getting a billion streams.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like we just trying to, you know, knock what they doing. It's obvious to us, and we just have to figure out how to package that messaging. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like politics. The Republicans know how to package their messaging better to their crowd than the Democrats do. You see what I'm saying?
People like, damn, how does Donald Trump, why does he have so many supporters? They don't understand. He knows how to connect with them.
He knows how to connect with them. You know what I'm saying? And us as the elders and the lyricists and the producers and the people like yourself in the rap media who understand this shit on a high level, we got to figure out the right messaging for the youth. You know what I'm saying? So they can say, all right, let me go in here and get better. That's cool. I sold them records over there, but let me take this craft seriously, and let me grow and elevate. Cause I watch people elevate, dog. Lil Wayne elevated. Lil Wayne didn't come out. He wasn't a Carter Wayne at first. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he was just whacking nothing. I'm just saying, saw his growth. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I thought to myself, this is an MC. You know what I'm saying? Once after a couple projects, and then I was like, oh shit. Yeah. And then I remember the first time I said, he's transcended whatever we thought he was. He dropped Go DJ, got on that stage with Manny Fresh back there, cutting and scratching, no hype man, rocking that whole song, sounding just like the record.
Just like the record.
I said, yo, now we just witnessed a guy go from this level to that level with his craft. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say other young artists in the game could do the same thing.
Yeah. I just feel like, you know, it seems like a lot of time these artists are just they're just not getting the looks because people don't know where to look, and which is crazy because you have the internet. Yeah. So there's so many different ways. You know, we don't have the gatekeepers like we once did. What do you think?
I think we still do.
You think we still do?
That's the problem.
I had this conversation with Plain Asia. I asked him. I said, and I was jokingly, I said it in jest, but I kind of meant it. And I asked him. I said, "Do you miss gatekeepers?" Because it's a part of me that does miss gatekeepers because it seemed like it filtered a lot more bullshit back then. Like to me. In my opinion, most of the artists, 90% of the artists, I feel like that was on the radio, they were worthy of radio airplay. You know?
Yeah, because the gatekeepers, the A&R gatekeepers, see, the gatekeepers changed. Now the gatekeepers are keeping out the lyricists.
They keep it, and it wasn't like that before.
And it wasn't like that before. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now the gatekeepers, they got the biggest playlist on Spotify.
Right.
And they're not letting lyricists on that playlist.
Yeah.
See See what I'm saying? So the payola that used to be at the radio, done switched to the payola for the playlist. You know what I mean? And the gatekeeper that used to be like, nah, dude, you're not dope enough. Go home and come back.
Yeah.
This new gatekeeper is saying you too dope.
Yeah.
You need to dumb that down before you can come over here with us.
Yeah.
So it's just all the roles switched. You know what I'm saying?
You think they think like, you know, because we know how talented you are, and we know that you are a machine within yourself. You know, you looked at as rebellious.
Yeah.
Possibly being rebellious, you know, something to deal with.
Yeah.
I can't just tell him to do it this way and he's going to do it because he has his own mind.
He has his own mind. He has his own vision.
He has his own vision.
He has his own vision. I can't just tell him, listen, dog, go in here and say this word 100 times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I sat in a meeting before with a record label and they said, hey, our staff did the study. If you repeat a word 62 times at least, you're going to have a better chance at having a hit on the radio.
That's crazy.
And they were like serious about that number. You know what I'm saying? So that's when this is during the era of super repetitive hooks. Where somebody would just say the same hook, the same word. That'd be
dark era. I call that era the dark era of hip hop. That 04, the dark ages of hip hop.
Dark ages.
it was so many ill niggas, man, like you and you know, ST Knack, that whole camp, Planet Asia, you know, but it was like it was just the dark ages, man. All you heard was the Laffy Taffy and like can we, like, it's okay to have that, but can we balance it with some authenticity and some niggas that really want to get busy as far as showing, you know, the competitiveness, you know, that was missing. That they wiped that away for that.
They wiped that off.
That 4 or 5 year span, 04 to like 08. I think when Wayne came out, when the Carter 3 got so big and they saw the level up in him, they said, man, let's go back and see what we missed. Because we wasn't fucking with none of y'all niggas that was rapping.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, you know.
But it was a movement bubbling. So talk about that, man. Just you getting busy during that time, man. And really, again, around that time, like I said, you know, my first project, my first introduction to you, the St. Valentine's Day Bossica.
Yes.
Brother, man, I'm telling you, from 07 to 08, man, I was like, man, ain't nobody fucking with this dude Crooked out, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, bro.
Nobody's fucking like you can be as good, but you can't be better.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
Can't be better. There's a ceiling to how good a nigga can be because you reach that ceiling, bro.
Dog, I salute that because, you know, we take this super serious. You know, like that's during the era when I did the first Hip Hop Weekly series.
Oof.
And, you know, I was trying to create separation between myself and whoever people thought was
right
on the same level I was on at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I got to create some separation. And, dude, it was heaven. So many bars flying from different camps. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could just turn on Flip Mode Squad and somebody gonna give me something crazy. You know what I'm saying?
No facts.
And it's just like, you know, that was just a time for us to flourish. And like you said, bro, it all came down when the money started coming in. It started changing things when the super stupid money starts coming in. You know what I'm saying? It started really changing things, dog. And rap became like the NBA. You got to be a good player to start.
Priorities change.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine if niggas from the deepest niggas, the nigga on the third string was the star player, right. You know, and the nigga with the most talent was on the bench somewhere. Like, we gonna just put Jordan on the bench.
You know
what I'm saying? This is what rap is like now. You feel me? Yeah. So it's like we gotta figure out a way to come together as a lyricist community, like, and niggas gotta stop fronting. You know what I mean? They gotta stop fronting. They gotta put their ego to the side. Yeah. They gotta stop talking in public about unity, but they really ain't about it. Like, all that need to stop. We need to come up with a committee of lyricists that says, hey, every time a lyricist drop, we all posting that shit.
Hell yeah. It'd be a lot of, it look like a lot of shade going on that's unnecessary. It's enough. The audience, the hip hop audience is so big that all the nice niggas can eat, because it ain't like it's a million of y'all, but it's enough to keep the masses fed that's into that type of shit.
Bro, imagine if we had a committee. Like, I've been talking about this. I wanted to start a committee full of lyricists,
right,
that make a pledge to promote one another whenever they drop. You don't got to do too much. How long do it take you to post on Instagram? How long do it take you to tweet a link out?
Yeah.
That ain't nothing. If the lyricists came together like that and always kept it cracking with each other.
And that's what the whack niggas is doing.
That's what they doing.
They all fuck with each other. like a bunch of whack niggas that like, yo, you know what? We make what we don't have in this area, hey, we go have in unity. So we go give off this appearance or this illusion as if we're the nicest in the game.
Yeah.
But we know we're not. We know when it comes to like musically, we know that we're not.
They gotta know it. Like, I remember Double XL had they had a freshman cover, right? And they called me because they were doing, they were talking to everybody who ever appeared on a freshman cover before.
Right.
And I was on the first freshman cover ever of Double XL.
Yeah, I remember that. So
they were like, yo, what did you think about the cypher? And I said, I feel like those dudes disrespected y'all's platform.
Facts. Yeah.
Because I remember when somebody like Double XL, BET, Source, anybody that was respectable had a cypher. And we was in our heyday. We was young guns.
Y'all trying to take niggas' heads off.
We was trying to take niggas' heads off.
End of story.
We was pacing in the motherfucking hotel room in New York like, nigga, I got to go to this cypher tomorrow. We trying to think of that shit to think of because we respect the platform.
Yeah, exactly.
These niggas came on this Double XL cypher and start freestyling. Off the top of the head, some garbage. And some niggas didn't even rap. They just did ad-libs in a cypher. I've never seen somebody jump in a cypher and just do ad-libs.
That shit was.
You know what I'm saying?
I said if we let this slide, it's going to be it's going to set hip hop back. It's going to set hip hop back, because if the masses if they accept this, and that's what they did, we realized like, man, you can pretty much do whatever you want if you got a certain type of image or swagger, whatever. We go fuck with that,
And guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna have some kid at complex.com that don't know shit about hip hop writing all the journals about hip hop.
Oh man.
And he gonna tell you, he gonna use his college education to tell you why this whack ass rapper is the shit.
He gonna use some analytics.
Yeah, he gonna make a whole think piece on this rapper, this garbage rapper, and sell it to the reader that, yo, this dude is really ill. He's a genius because of this.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, a lot of people got to get moved out the way. You know what I'm saying? If we're not going to move them out the way, we got to create our own.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And be like, listen, don't listen to what they talking about over there. They don't know shit about the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Culture vultures.
Yeah, dog. We can't just sit back, dog. Like, I could imagine.
And we got culture vultures within the black community.
Oh man, some of them niggas look just like you. That's what we always say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Them is the most dangerous ones sometimes. Because they gonna sell it to you on some, hey, I'm just like you. And they gonna sell you bullshit. So, dog, we just it's a lot of work to do. And that's the reason why I did the show One Shot on BET. when we went around 2015 looking for the next hottest MC.
Yeah, that was
from city to city and all that, because we got to be men of action. I ain't gonna just sit back and complain about it, some whack motherfuckers. I'm gonna go find the dope motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do. So we went out to go find them. And dog, we were in Chicago, dead of winter. It was 5,000 contestants in the line. The little number 5, they had to block the street off, lock it down. The news came out. They didn't know what was going on. It's like, what's going on over here? So you just have 5,000 talented, passionate people who might never get in the game because they wasn't on some bullshit with their material. So I think about it like this. What if Rakim didn't never get put in the game because he was too good?
Change the whole landscape of hip hop.
Change the whole landscape. That's what's happening now, though. I done took very talented artists to labels, and they done told me to my face, they don't got enough SoundCloud plays. They don't got enough YouTube views. They don't got enough followers on social media. So we can't sign them. They talented, could be a star. We can't sign them, though.
That's ridiculous.
That's where we are in the game.
It seems like, I said this to a friend. I said, man, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people, if you're a casual music listener and you complain about hip hop, I can understand your perspective of saying, oh, it's terrible, it sucks, it's not what. But if you really listen to the level of talent that we have, but it's just not getting displayed, I'm gonna say, man, we are in a golden era of hip hop. It's just not on the forefront. It's on it's independent. We got you, we got them Griselda boys, we got Huss, we got Asia, Marcy. We can go on all day, man. You guys have a body of work that you can rightfully put up with some of the greatest music in hip hop.
Yes, sir.
Has came out, I'm just listening to your Apex Predator from 2014, man, which I think that joint got slept on so heavy, man.
Yeah, they slept, man.
And you're one of those artists, man. I feel you don't need features, man. So talk about that, man. Talk about, how some artists, man, are really reliant upon their circle or their associations. Yeah, and artists like yourself are original, but because you do your own thing and you're not following the masses, again, they try to make it difficult.
Yeah, dog. I mean, a lot of artists, there's a formula. Right now, the formula that the labels have is whoever's streaming the most, that's who we're going to put new artists with. I don't care if they sound good together. I don't care if they know each other. I don't care if they don't got no chemistry. If this dude is streaming good, we got to get him on this record. So when you go into the studio and your mindset is, I'm trying to make a Walmart product that's going to go across the world, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Your mind is already in the wrong place. You're not going to make no classic. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is, okay, now we need the club song. Okay, now we need the depressed song. Okay, now we need, you know what I mean? And it's
generic.
Like,
it's a very generic process.
It's cookie cutter, generic. And it's like, yo, that's where we are. So, I didn't want to play the radio game. I did a song called Boom Boom Clap.
Oh, that was hard. I remember that.
Thank you. I did a song called Boom Boom Clap, dog, and it was ahead of its time. We was 808 in it before a trap explosion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was one of the most requested songs on a particular station out here in Cali. They would not play the song though, because I didn't give the bag to them. See what I'm saying? So they just ignored the fact that people was calling because they wanted that bag. So
it's really a radio game. Like it's really it's real. A lot of people think that's a rumor. Like, oh nah, it ain't that's gone. They don't do that no more. That's old shit. They was doing that back in the day.
It ain't no big hit out there that ain't been paid for, dog. In one way or the other.
Sense. It makes sense.
In one way or the other.
It's a machine. Like these niggas that you hear on the and it's not no hating. It's just we just stating facts. It's just what it is.
Yeah, because I could have easily said, all right, here go the bag, and then that's
Yeah.
cool. I could have, but I just said, you know what, I'm not playing that game. So the internet, I took to the internet and was like, you know what, I'm gonna be just over here. Y'all could go ahead and play that game. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like after being a veteran over here, and I used to rep, I still do rep the coast real hard. So it's like, you should want to play my shit.
Right.
When I go to Atlanta, I hear Atlanta shit. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in Chicago, I hear Chicago shit.
Yeah.
When I'm on the West, it was a time when we never heard no West Coast artists.
It was the South.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it was like, I just didn't want to play that game. So it's reasons why my career path took the path. It's a lot of games that I refused to take part in. That was just one. You know what I'm saying? But when I look back though, I don't regret nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, bro, I come from nothing.
Right.
We had roaches in the cereal, bro.
Sorry.
That shit made cornflakes look like Raisin Bran, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
and to be where I'm at right now, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I ain't got no complaints. That's
what I'm saying. Like, how does it feel, man? Like to sit back and realize, like, I did it my way. Like a lot of these artists, man, like you said, they popping. We see them every day, but they're high priced slaves. You have been able to cultivate a career and a body of work.
Yes, sir.
That is deserving of a certain level of respect.
Yes,
without
sir.
compromising. So how does it feel to be able to hold on to something like that?
It feel great, man. You know what I mean? Because I seen those who compromised, got hits, fell off, and really, really lost a piece of their soul.
Yeah.
And you sit and you talk to them, and they hollow inside because of the journey they went through was just real fucked up. Because they went against their morals, or they did some wild shit to get where they are, and then they fell off and they can't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen some horrible stories like that, and then I've seen some success stories. But each artist is gonna have their own journey. They're gonna have their own path. A radio hit might put you in a Bentley,
right?
And a cult following might put me in one.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
go get there. We both going to the same place. We both here. This the path I took, and this is
path you took. So I just like to keep a lot of integrity, man, because there's still people who love that shit. There's still people who love hip hop. They love lyrics. They love beats. They love, what I'm saying, and I just focus on them. You know what I mean? I focus on them, and it's harder to get to them sometimes. You know what I mean? Like when I really realized that independent, it was hard to be independent. As I walked into a Starbucks and I seen Alicia Keys' CD on the counter, and I said, "Damn! As an independent, it'd be damn near impossible for me to get my CD in all the Starbucks." You know what I'm saying? So it'd be damn near impossible for me to sound scan the first week like her, because I don't have that access as being indie. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I had to accept that. Like, okay, when you indie, you got to carve out whole different lanes.
Yeah.
You can't really just always focus on what the majors are doing, because they got so much bread, power, and access that it's very hard to compete with what they're doing. Now, a lot of the fans, they don't get that.
Talk about that. Talk about that, because it seems as if, like you said, to add to your point, you have to be able to focus on your creativity as well as the business, aspect of it. So talk about how, talk about balancing that. What is that like?
For the new artists, I would always say, man, you got to wear several hats or have a team, period. You got to have somebody with a market in mind, or you got to have a market in mind. You got to have somebody who understands social media, or you got to understand social media. You got to have somebody who understands the business, or you got to understand the business. There's no more. You are a very lucky artist if all you know how to do is make music and you be able to pop off that. You're very lucky. Nowadays, you need to have a good idea of how to do shit. Like my man Dame, who used to own Funk Volume with Hobson label.
Right.
He has something called the Music Entrepreneurs Club, MEC. I always tell young artists, follow Dame MEC on Instagram, Twitter. Look up the Music Entrepreneur Club because he's giving out jewels to independent artists and leaving breadcrumbs so you can follow them and get to where you're trying to get.
How to monetize your shit.
How to monetize your shit. Because there's multiple ways to monetize. They don't listen to the rappers. They're going to tell you they came out of high school, went straight to the league, and now they balling, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And you looking at their end result, and you trying to compare your beginning to their end result. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Understand, you can get TV show placements and clock a check. You can ghostwrite, clock a check. You can sell merch to your community and clock a check. There's different ways for you to take care of yourself in music that don't have nothing to do with all the fancy Hollywood shit you see. Okay. And you can have a career in this shit. Numbers mean everything. Don't think about, I need 1 million fans. If you got 10,000 solid diehard fans, you could become rich.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You can live your whole life. 10,000 solid fans, drop a $40 hoodie. That's 400 grand.
What?
You see what I'm saying?
Some vinyl, some CDs.
Drop some CDs, some vinyls. You know what I mean? Have a relationship with the people who are supporting you.
Yeah.
They're not just faces in a crowd. They're not just a sea of people. These are real people spending their real fucking money.
Yeah.
To buy your product, buy your music, have a relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? You should know these people. And there's just too many ways, man, to get it. And I just think that a lot of these artists want to skip steps. Yeah. And that's not the right way to go about it. And it's a way to make yourself miserable because you don't understand why you in your mind felt I'm just as good as Drake and I only got 100 streams and he got 100 billion. You know what I'm saying? That's a mind fuck for an artist.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because you comparing yourself to a man, his end results, and to a man who has a machine behind him.
Talk about that machine.
That I have, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
You can't compete with that machine. Like
you can't, dog. They got
anytime you have a guy, and there's no disrespect to Drake because I believe he is talented, but you know, a lot of people don't want to say this, but it's just Absolutely. What it is. And you can't be that accurate. Like everything he throws, it lands.
Yeah.
It you know, everything he, you know, his accuracy is just phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And no matter when or where, he can drop something at midnight, 1 in the morning.
It's gone.
And it's into the universe.
Yeah.
You know, whereas another artist gotta do promotions and gotta have, you know, he gotta do so much. But being that he's already created this you know, this machine, and he has a machine behind him. Talk about, like, what do you think as far as, you know, artists just realizing, like, this is my fan base. Let me focus on this fan base and realize even if it never gets to where we're saying a guy is at, I'm able to take care of my family. I am a boss. I'm able to take care of my family doing what I love. And that's and you are a prime example of that. So talk about that feeling.
Hey man, listen, bro. Mac Miller, rest in peace. I was on the phone with Mac. Mac said, hey man, you know what I did? I ignored everybody and focused on my fans. I don't care if I only have 40, 50 fans. I just focused on them. And that started growing and growing and growing and growing. And I think that a lot of people, like I said, they don't want to do the work because that takes work to grow your community. If you're an artist in the game right now, you need to have a community, period. And I think we get distracted by all the flashiness on Instagram and all the stories on media takeout and the shade room, and you looking at these major artists and you're like, man, I need to be like that. I'm just as talented. And you're not focusing on the people. The people are that's who's going to make you who you need to be.
Exactly. Because
I'm going to tell you right now, if you create a certain amount of community, the labels, if that's what you want, they're going to knock on your door.
Yeah.
Because this is what you're doing. You got a movement. Yeah. They're going to want in. You know what I'm saying? So if that's something that you want, you still going to have to build your community. So focus on that, man, and be a mini machine. Have your own little machine. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, dog, because they don't understand. Like, and the fans, again, they might not get it.
No doubt.
They might not understand that their favorite rapper guy, soon as he come out, there's going to be $2 million on the table for him to market his product. Now you take $2 million and you compare that to $2,000. Who you think I'm gonna see the most? The artist that got $2,000 to market, or the artist who got $2 million? Here's what it is.
Yeah, the possibility is just so much. It's so much greater.
So you got to understand what playing field you on. I need artists on the come up to be very self-aware. Leave the ego to the side. Be self-aware. Understand you're not playing on the same field Eminem is playing on. You're not playing on the same field Drake is playing on. You're not playing on the same field that Atlantic Records' hottest artist is playing on. Yeah. You're not on that field, my brother. You on this field. So let's score some touchdowns on this field.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly. Because like I said, and that's why I say I feel like it's a golden era. I'm looking at, for example, the Griselda boys. I remember I went to a concert to see them back in, I believe, 2014 here in Washington, D.C. It was like 40 people in the crowd. Yes, I felt like maybe 30, to be honest. I'm being generous. Yeah. And I was like, man, people don't realize like this is something special. And I felt embarrassed. I was like, yo, here I'm in D.C. and I'm thinking my city knows real hip hop because in my circle, my niggas know that real shit. But so I'm like, man, when these guys come, we gonna show up. We gonna let them know that, hey, we fuck with this. We on this. Man, bro. You was able to chop it up with Benny, Conway, all them in the lobby, man. It was like, I was like, damn, they ain't had no entourage or nothing. And now to see to see them cultivate that fan base where they good. They have a cult following.
Yes, sir.
That is a cult following,
Mm-hmm. They got a cult following, but they built it. They didn't skip steps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It didn't happen overnight.
It didn't happen overnight. They built that from the ground up. So they deserve everything they got. You know what I'm saying? And now the labels is knocking on their door like crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing because, like you said, doing it your way. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing, man. So
it's a solace in that. It's a solace, and I can see why someone you should take pride in that. You
sleep at, like, hey, man. I wasn't with none of the other shit. I came in here. I kept my integrity. I love the culture, and I think about ways of pushing the culture forward. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, my whole thing is, if we in this motherfucking culture, we should be trying to figure out how can we push it forward.
Yeah. How can we give back?
How can we give back? How can we push the boundaries of creativity? You know what I'm saying? How I got a chance to chop it up with Rakim. I asked him and him the same question. What's next? What's the next level of lyricism after everything that's happened lyrically in the history of hip hop? What's the next level? And they both said the same shit. I'm searching for that. Still students of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about that, man. Talk about that. Like here you are, man. You've been in the game 20 plus years, and your skill level, man. I mean, it's like, man, you're better than ever. You know, you at the top of your game. You know, this most recent project, man. That I'm talking about this project, this flag. I'm just like, man, this brother is continuing to come with it. So what I want to ask is, you know, a lot of artists, you know, the hip hop community, let me take this back. The hip hop community, they feel like as you get older, you know, like you lose something, like, you know, not realizing, like they think that hip hop is just a young man's sport. So it's like, no matter how ill you are, when you get of a certain age, we on to the next. So what do you think about this ageism in hip hop?
We got to get rid of it. There's no expiration date on talent. We got to get rid of that shit, man, because Mick Jagger can still pack the whole auditorium. We got to treat our veterans the same way rock treat their veterans and legends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm so happy Jay-Z, as old as he is, he drop a verse on something and people go crazy still.
Exactly.
Dr. Dre, soon as he drops something, people go crazy. He go out of motherfucking country, 80,000 people in the crowd. Chuck D, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Ice-T just won a fucking Grammy for Body Count for heavy metal rap shit.
Yeah.
You know, Royce hit his 40s and got his first nomination for a Grammy album of the year, rap album of the year. You see
and he produced it, rapped and produced it.
And he produced the whole shit. So it's like, that's a myth. We got to do away with that. But a part of it, I think, is on the elders to stop trying to talk at the young guns and talk to them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that whole, I'm one of the young niggas doing it better than the old niggas, that mentality will start to disappear, and it'll be a bond of unity if the elders take it, because they be like, I ain't talking to him because the motherfucker gotta want to listen. They don't want to listen. I ain't got time.
Yeah.
Well, I got an idea. Make time, because you the one who's seen it all.
Exactly.
So you need to give back. You need to holler at these young kids and be like, yo, my G, buy some property.
Right.
Invest some of your bread. You know what I'm saying? This ride could be over anytime. Make sure your paperwork is straight. You know what I mean? Leave a legacy for your children. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to get at them on some real shit, dog. But we can't just get on there and be like, oh, such and such is whack.
Right.
Now, somebody that's disrespecting the game, I don't got no love for that. Because I love hip hop.
You gotta purge them out the game.
Yeah, I love hip hop. I love hip hop.
Yeah.
So when I hear somebody like when Post Malone was, you know, I wanted some real shit, I don't live hip hop. Well, guess what, Post? Get the fuck out the way then. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't got no mercy on somebody talking crazy about the game that put them where they're at. You know
and
what
that's
I mean?
the level of disrespect that I'm talking about. It's unnecessary. If you're benefiting off the game, I don't know anybody in any other culture where they would partake in that culture and be as openly disrespectful. Even if you are in another culture and you see some things within that culture that you don't agree with, you're keeping that to yourself. Because you know that culture, it benefits what you are doing that's what it is.
And to make a blanket statement like that, and I don't got no problems with Post. I'm just saying I have a problem with what he said.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
my whole thing is to make a blanket statement like that is erasing all the people who are making real shit in hip hop. To say it ain't no real shit in hip hop, and Kendrick just won a Pulitzer Prize, we gotta back that thought process up. Like, hold up, nah, we can't be on that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we love this, man. This is the only culture that a lot of people of color have, especially black people. They took our culture from us. Yeah. You know what I mean? They beat it out of us, hung and lynched it out of us. Yeah. So when hip hop came along, you know what I mean? We grabbed onto it, and this is the only culture that we got. It is a culture. You know, KRS-One went to the UN and made sure it was recognized as a culture.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This affects how we speak. This affects how we dress. This affects how we think, how we communicate with each other. This is a culture.
It's a lifestyle.
You know what I mean? And we're not just gonna let people talk bad about the culture. We just not.
So you mentioned a very interesting, individual who I have a high level of respect for, but it seems like a lot of supporters of hip hop have a problem with him for some reason, And the gentleman I'm talking about is your brother Eminem. What do you think I don't want to say most, but a lot of hip hop fans, why do you think they take they take a problem with Eminem?
I think there was a narrative floating around a couple years ago. It started saying that he wasn't part of the culture. He just benefiting off the culture with white privilege. Basically saying all type of things, and it became a cool trend to downplay his status in hip hop. And I think a lot of people bid onto that wave and decided that they was going to, push that narrative. He's a student of the game. He probably got more hip hop knowledge than the average motherfucker walking around the streets.
Forgot more than most niggas ever knew.
That part. He loved the shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's a motherfucking lyrical genius. Flat out. You know what I'm saying? He put words together in a robotic form. You know what I mean? Like, he know how to do this shit because he studied the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? And that narrative was just getting pushed because, one, a lot of clout that narrative. Getting views, you getting people paying attention to what you're saying, shit like that. You know what I mean? But if you're a real lyricist, you understand what that man is doing in that booth. Let's take away the sales. Let's take away everything else.
Exactly.
Just listen to what he's doing in that booth. If you're a real lyricist, you understand he's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part I focus on and say, hey, I can't let that ride, what y'all talking about with the M shit. It became cool for motherfuckers to try to do that shit. We gonna squash that. You know what I mean? Because M had the presence of mind and the love for the culture to try to make sure that a group like Slaughterhouse was introduced to the mainstream. Like, these are the type of motherfuckers that need to be occupying space in mainstream rap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of motherfuckers that wouldn't have signed Slaughterhouse.
He was the first artist pushing that as far as like coming off the dark ages of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Coming off the dark age. So talk about that. How did Slaughterhouse come together? How, what part did Eminem play in that?
We came together. We did our first album on E1. You know what I'm saying? The fans put Slaughterhouse together. We did a song called Slaughterhouse on Joe. On one of those
Moon Music 3.
And was it that? I can't remember.
I think it was that Moon. It was that
Moon.
I
think he had a joint. I think he had some kind of joint. Might have been sure got. And I know that I'm gonna get roasted. They always roast me because I forget shit. But
it got Nino Bless on that joint.
Nino Bless on the joint. I'm 5 years sober. So people got to understand that I drunk a lot of my brain cells. I can't remember all the kind of shit that I should. Hey, we did this song to Slaughterhouse. The fans loved it. We came back together and did a song called Onslaught. They loved it again, and we was like, yo, let's just do some group shit.
Yeah,
fans created
Onslaught.
Yeah, dog. Onslaught.
I forgot about that Onslaught. Mm-hmm. Man. Yeah, go ahead, dog.
So we did Onslaught. Fans loved it. We made Slaughterhouse. We did the self-titled album on E1. M heard the album. He was like, yo, these dudes are phenomenal. We need to get them on Shady. And me and Royce already knew that Shady was the home. You know what I mean? We already, before M even heard the album, we was like, yo, M understands lyricism. This will be a great home for Slaughterhouse. Made it happen. And, to this day, M still fuck with Slaughterhouse no matter what. We got an official release from Shady Records. Shady Records, we got the official release. But to this day, M fucks with that brand because he's a hip hop head and he understands that, you know, that was top tier lyricism going on. You know what I mean?
He know what that represents.
He knows exactly what it represents, and it represents what he represents. You know what I'm saying? So it's really it was really a good thing, man. And you know, it didn't turn out how we wanted it to, but I'm the type of dude.
Why do you think that? What, you know, a lot of fans, we would, you know, like, you know, prior to the first Shady Slaughterhouse project, you know, that project on E1 was crazy. It was killing it. You know, so we figured, you know, like, man, this is almost like what the Golden State Warriors did with adding KD and with the New Jersey, like that's how we looked at y'all. And it just seemed like there was just a, you know, maybe a disconnect in, you know, creates you know, what the vision, the, you know.
You gotta get
what do you think it was?
You gotta get on the same page, man. Like, I remember reading an article and Jay-Z said that things didn't click for Rockefeller until everybody got on the same page. If you're not on the same page, shit ain't gonna work out, bro. It's gonna fall apart. Everybody was a solo artist to begin with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different mindsets, attitudes, behaviors, visions, you know, and once those things start colliding, it was almost impossible to stay on the same page. And that's what ultimately led to us going away. And I feel like if we would have put the fans first, we'd be about 4 albums deep right now.
Oh man,
you know
that project, the last song I heard with all y'all on it was on that Royce the 5'9". He did a bar exam.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I was like, what's it called?
Chopping Block.
The Chopping Block. Yeah, man. I said, man, y'all buy it. I missed this, man.
Hey, man.
I missed this. This was special.
Man.
How was it like working with those brothers though? You know, like because again, I feel like the quality of the music, as far as the lyricism, man, it was just top notch. So, you know, how was it, you know, what was the how was it working with those brothers, and what unique factor or, you know, characteristics did you, you know, can you explain as far as the individuals? Because it seemed like you guys all have different, you know, special traits.
This is the only reason that I get, you know, when I start talking about Slaughterhouse, this is what bothers me. If we was an all-star team, Joel Ortiz embodied New York hip hop.
Facts.
He embodied that shit. The Timberlands, the Yankee fitted, the hard, rough bars. He just embodied it. Joe Budden, he embodied pain music. He could really put his emotions on music and make you feel it while being lyrical. Royce, he was just a mad scientist. He knew how to express himself in many different ways. He knew how to put records together before he started producing. He was already producing, but he wasn't touching the equipment. Right. But he was already like understanding how to formulate and put records together. And he's a monster lyrically. You know what I'm saying? I brought what I brought. So the whole thing is I'm for the culture. Okay. Everybody knows how much I love hip hop culture. So even if we having disagreements and ain't seeing eye to eye, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Let's keep rapping.
Exactly.
Because all those disagreements go away when we in the booth. we still come up with great music. The disagreements wasn't making the music suffer.
Yeah,
it was just only making the business suffer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to keep our foot on the gas pedal. And I just wanted to see how far can we take this? Can we take this to the point where niggas is mentioning us in the same breath as we? If we drop official albums, niggas got to talk about Slaughterhouse like they talk about all of them.
They have to.
You know what I'm saying?
They have to.
And that's what I'm on. But I understand everybody got their own, vision. Everybody got their own way of looking at the situation and all that. I'm just hoping that we could give one more for closure. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hoping that we could get to this one more. I talked to Royce. I was talking to him last night on FaceTime about Slaughterhouse.
I heard it's damn near complete.
Glass House, yeah, but I'm thinking like, man, we gonna probably drop some new shit.
So you gonna scrape that, or you gonna add some?
I don't know what's gonna happen to Glass House. It's in limbo. I think that it will definitely be heard one day.
That's what's up.
I do think that. I don't think it's gonna be it's just in the vault forever. It's gonna come out one day. But I think as far as the first look of Slaughterhouse is gonna probably be. It's gonna involve some new music. You know what I mean? Niggas got a lot to talk about right now. It's been some years. A whole bunch of shit done went down.
Hell yeah.
It's a lot to talk about. I think it'll be easy, man. I think it'll be like the old days. It'll be like zip, and we'll look around in 6 days and have about 15 joints,
Your fans still here. It's like, as you guys have grown and matured and leveled up, it's your fans they pretty much doing the same thing. So how does it feel to still have that connection with the people that fell in love with you from day one?
It feels good, man. No fans, no us. That's just point blank, and it feels great. You know what I mean? When people talk about Slaughterhouse, man, they come out passionate behind what they talking about. When I'm on Twitter with the rap connoisseurs, if I mention Slaughterhouse, it's going down. The conversation is gonna get good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just love that. I love it, man. You know what I mean? I love it, bro. It's really a house game,
Yeah.
But I think we'll give him one more. Don't man. I think we'll give him one more. Something happened. Something happened. I could feel the energy when I talk to everybody, man. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen.
No, that's man. That's love, man. So again, man, I want to talk about this last album, man, because I feel like this last project, this Flag, in my opinion, it was in my top 10 projects of 2020. You got an Eminem production on one of these joints, but the lyricism, man, it seemed like, man, you went like alien mode, man. So what was the concept? What inspired this Flag project?
Man, COB is the holy cloth, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cabiana right here. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
She chilling. But the flag of COB stands for so much for me. It stands for unity.
Yeah.
It stands for forward thinking. It stands for all that shit. So I wanted to do something on that level. That's why I got the Malcolm X pose. You know what I'm saying? With the motherfucking, with the Cobb bandana on.
Yeah, the bandana. Yeah.
It's like, yo, I want y'all to think when you listen to the music. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to provoke some sort of feelings, emotions, and thoughts. And so much going on in the world. I feel like everybody was partying and having a good time while the world was burning.
Exactly.
I said, hey man, let me report live from the street corners one time and tell people what's going on out here. And it was just a great process. I did it in about a week. And you had Teenage Killer, where I, thought the voice sound like a younger guy.
That Cobb season.
Yeah, that Cobb season. You know what I mean?
You got this one line on that Cobb season when you talk about like You know, when I die, man, don't celebrate me when it was a time, you know, we could have did music together. You know, you didn't show that same love. But now the nigga, you know, so talk a little bit about that, man. Like, you know, I thought that was very introspective, man, and very, you know, very honest.
I mean, look, here we are. Everybody is posting, you know, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. As they should. Nip was the great, you know what I mean? But
No doubt.
a lot of them guys who posting those pictures didn't fuck with Nip when he was here. You know what I mean? They wasn't talking about his music. They didn't go to the shows. They didn't buy the mixtape. You know what I'm saying? But now that he's gone, they all got him on their Instagram. I don't like that. You see what I'm saying? When they did his funeral, was at the Staples Center.
Right.
I went to his funeral. The whole Staples Center was packed. It's like he sold out the Staples Center.
That's crazy.
Why come he can't sell it out while he's living? You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to get off that mentality of we only going to, you know, celebrate people when they die.
Yeah.
When they here putting in the work, acknowledge it. You know what I mean? So I don't want none of these rappers out here to be, you know, false flagging and be like, oh, you know, oh, he gone now. I mean, his album. I really rocked with this album. Rest in peace. Nah, dog. Right. Use your platform right now to tell people that you fuck with the shit I'm doing. I do it every day. Like I said, when I'm on Twitter, I got something called the Rap Connoisseurs, and we all talk rap every day on Twitter. And, you know, we give flowers to people all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just feel like they should keep it real like that, man. And in that moment, that's just how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that shit is whack. You know what I mean? Let's celebrate each other while we still here.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, look, you know, we coming up on the 2-year anniversary of you know, Nip's passing. You know, how influential you think you think Nipsey Hussle was, not just, you know, for that time, but also for a lot of these artists that's coming after him. You know, how do you feel? You know, what do you think about his influence overall?
Oh, man. I feel like wants people to want to be owners, to want to have ownership in whatever their talent is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the most impactful part, because here we are in this day and age still being robbed. Artists are still being robbed. You know what I'm saying? We still getting the crumbs sometimes, especially if you're on a major, getting the crumbs of you know, you playing all harvest. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh. Yeah. Now I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all good. So Nip's impact, man, on independence and ownership was just incredible. And his impact in the community, the things that he did for his community, he set an example for everybody to follow. And you know, I went over there and spoke to some kids out of school in his hood, and the murals is just everywhere, even at the school.
Yeah.
And that just let you know what kind of impact he had when they paint them face the school. You know what I mean? That just let you know that he did the right thing. He was a hometown hero. You know what I mean? It's tragic, man. It's tragic. We gotta come off that, bro. We got to come off that. We got to really celebrate our heroes while they're here.
Yeah.
And we got to protect them while they're here too, to our best ability. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because I feel for these young people who watched that on the internet and got traumatized by that image.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of these kids got PTSD watching all the bullshit go on in hip hop.
Talk about that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got some issues they need to unpack. You know,
lot of them is they numb to it.
Yeah,
you know, they see it so often.
That's not good. That's not good, man.
Yeah,
normalizing that shit is not the wave.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So we gotta really, because they burying that shit. It's gonna come back out somehow.
Right.
So we gotta just be real. We gotta be leaders of culture, man. We guardians in our era. Our AR guardian of the culture, man. So we gotta speak on things like this. You know what I mean? And we gotta let it be known that we hear y'all, we feel y'all, and we want to promote positivity and change in the hip hop community. Period.
You ever fall out of love with hip hop? There's been a time you just been like, man,
the business.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah, the business of hip hop, because it's flooded with vultures. You know what I'm saying? It's flooded with vultures, and the business will make you want to just jet up out of here. But that's why earlier I said you got to fall in love with the craft, because when you love the craft, you're not gonna just jet on the first one. You're not gonna just leave with.
Yeah, one stumble. Yeah.
You go because you're in love. So, and when you fall in love with it, you could deal with that other shit. But yeah, the business is really whack. It's a lot of vultures. It's a lot of people that can push buttons that don't know nothing about the culture and don't care about the culture, and they're making millions of dollars off of some shit that they don't give a fuck about, and they in the driver's seat steering us into a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta stand up, man. And like Puff said, he said we gotta take the culture back. He right about that. You know what I mean? You can love him or hate him. He right about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because people took issue with that as if what he said was wrong.
Yeah, sometimes they don't like the messenger. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't like the message, but it was truth. It was facts, because it's too many talented people out there that need a shot that ain't getting a shot because the person behind the desk don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So some of us got to get behind that desk. You know what I mean?
Think that's the next that you do. Does that look likely? Does that look more likely? Is the future brighter? Can you see that?
I'm optimistic, man. That's just how I gotta be. So my whole thing is, with brothers like you putting people like me on the platform and us having this conversation, it means something. It's like Pac said, you might not change shit, but you might spark the mind that changes shit.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So right now, somebody might be watching this and be like, yo, I know what I got to do now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, dog, I'm always optimistic. I think we got JID out here. He young gunning. You know what I'm saying? We got Earth Gang. Dreamville got some young hitters over there. You feel me?
Yeah.
TDE ain't done talking to him. You feel me?
Nah. Isaiah Rashad, Kendrick, all them boys.
Yeah, man. So, hey, shout out 3D T. She hard. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many. It's so many people that. Yeah, man. There's so many people that's ready to go and carrying the flag. Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Out of my city, out of DC.
You feel me?
Yeah. So what do Nas album, it won the Grammy. So, what do you think about that? Like, finally an artist, man, of that stature winning, actually deserving that award and actually getting it. Do you feel like that's one of the first steps as far as moving in the right direction? On mainstream finally seeming to get some understanding of what's actually going on, as far as this culture.
Yeah, I mean, I have mixed emotions about that because I wanted Royce to win.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
The allegory was cold.
Yeah,
that was my pick. That was my pick.
Yo, dog. So like I said, I got mixed emotions about that, but you know what I'm saying? I'm happy that it went to Nasir because he's Nasir. He should have got that 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
He should have got that years ago.
You know what I mean? Like his first shit should have been a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. I think that, that list of rap albums of the year was more on point than it's ever been. So I salute them over there. I hope it wasn't a COVID-19 thing. I hope it wasn't because everybody in the house and a whole bunch of people ain't in the club dancing the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
We'll give it to them this year.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully they keep it, they stay in that lane, and that will shift the game because then labels will say, well, hey, I gotta go and get a real artist now because if I want my artist to be eligible to win a Grammy,
right,
they gotta be an artist. They gotta have some depth, have some substance. You know what I'm saying?
So you think we need artist development? You think that needs to come back, or do you think the game can continue to evolve without that type of element?
I think artist development need to come back. I think artists need to look for that. I think media training. I mean, we learned media training, from experience, and we failed our way to the top. But I do because it's some wild shit getting said on interviews and some wild takes out there. You know what I mean? And even in the lab, some of these motherfuckers getting high on pills and shit and saying whatever the fuck come to mind. And motherfuckers is bumping it. They like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? I'm rocking. You know what I'm saying? So,
they got that lane, but just balance that shit. Let them niggas rock out and do that shit.
Yeah, balance, man. I mean, I'm at home listening to Stevie Wonder, the key songs in the key of life, thinking
one of the greatest albums ever.
Thinking, how can I get me a project mentioned in that same breath? You know what I'm saying? Like that thought process needs to be in all artists' heads. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how does it feel? I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wonder, like, how do they feel just waking up, just knowing that I just regurgitate. A lot of these artists just regurgitating the same shit that everybody else is doing. Like, that was a penalty. When you came into the game, that was one of the quickest ways to get your ass up out of here.
Yeah, they look at their bank statement and say, well, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And so some of that falls on the listener streaming that shit. You know what I'm saying? Some of that falls on them. But the real gonna always have a place, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? You just talk to Planet Asia. He one of the real ones. You feel me? So that just lets you know. You know what I mean? That there's always gonna be a place for the real. And we gonna always keep jamming this real shit down their throat. We don't give a fuck what's going on in the game. We gonna get some real shit. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact,
I appreciate that.
I gotta go to the lab right now.
Well, look, man, I'm not gonna hold you, brother, man. It's been an honor having you here on the platform, man. We got the one and only King Crook, man. And real quick, man, why did you change your name from Crooked out of King Crook before we get out of here?
Well, it's just another alias. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I get back in crooked eye mode. You know what I mean? But King Crook was really a statement, man. I stood to my right, and it changed me. And the only way that I could really talk to the people is in the booth. So, I decided to make, when I put on my socially aware, conscious political hat, it's King with an X. It's Martin Luther King mixed with Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm about to start talking to people when I'm on that level. You feel me? And it just felt right, my last album will probably just be Dominic, my mother's name that she gave me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And That'll be the evolution. You feel me?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, it's just another alias, Tupac, Machiavelli. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, no
it's
doubt.
it's just another a side of me that I wanted to share with the people. That's all. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Well, look, brother, man, I appreciate your time. We here at the Bridging the Generation podcast, man. We giving you your flowers, man. We realize, man, that you are one of the greats, man, of all time, man. So that ain't no just me just telling you that because we talking man to man, face to face. Brother, your catalog, it speaks for itself, man.
Thank you, man. And thanks for having me. And keep doing what you're doing. Bridging the generations, man. That's something very important. All you young guns out there, we love y'all. Don't pay attention to the narrative that the old heads and they tripping and they don't love. Nah, we love y'all, man. And we want y'all continue to do your thing. Just fall in love with your craft. That's all we ask. Fall in love with it. That's it, man. Everybody be easy. Stay healthy.
No doubt, man. Well, I share those exact same sentiments, man. Again, it was an honor to have you on the platform, brother. You take care. We love you, man. Keep doing your thing, and you have a good night, brother.
Love, bro. Thank you, man.
All right.
All right, bro.